we've been doing a few of these virtual Fearless Caregiver conferences around the country. Last one just now in Broward and one in New Haven. And I will tell you, the energy, the enthusiasm, the questions, the expert advice, everything is similar to anybody who's ever been to our in-person events, except virtual hugs don't work as well as real hugs. My name is Gary Barg. I'm a caregiver, but I'm also the author of the books, The Fearless Caregiver, Caregiving Ties That Bind, and our new book about caregiving during COVID, You Are Not Alone. What I find interesting, and caregivers have found interesting about that book, is it's actually by you. The book is filled with the advice, the information, the support that family caregivers have told us at 287 events in 45 cities in 27 states, including some of you guys. And we knew that this last year we couldn't go around and be with anybody and join anybody in person, which was, sad for all of us, obviously. But we also wanted to make sure that advice and the wisdom that's shared at the Fearless Caregiver conferences was still able to be shared. And that's we call it conference in your living room. If you have any question at any time of any panelist, what I want you to do, or of each other, is go to the Q&A at the bottom. You see the Q&A, and stick a Q in and we'll lay it. Because your questions are the secret sauce to successful caregiving, to fearless caregiving. And of course, if you've heard me say this a bunch of times, the very first step you have to do when you're a fearless caregiver is to care for yourself. Now, I hope people haven't clicked off on me at this point, because you're probably just saying, I don't have time to care for me. Well, I have 36 hours a day, I'm caring for my loved one. I don't know what you're talking about. And my answer to you is, who's going to step in and care for you and your loved one when you fall apart due to ill health, for not caring for yourself? Because caring for yourself is the most important part to being a successful caregiver to your loved one. Caregiving is national in implication and local in application. Nationally, you need to know who your partners are, who can help you from a distance. You have to know what's going on in DC. You have to know what's going on in Tallahassee, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. But locally, it's the application. You have to know who those local services and supports, the elder care. If I told you who the elder care attorney, a great elder care attorney in Peoria or Pittsburgh or Palm Springs, it might be neat to know about, but it's not helping you in Palm Beach County. So we need to reach out as family caregivers to our local partners. And now, as life hopefully gets quickly back to safer and more shared experience, I don't say normal, it's important to remember to stay socially distanced, keep your health, keep your loved one's health, challenge the professionals that you run across who are there to support your loved ones, and mask, mask, mask. As it has been my pleasure to have done at so many in-person events, 18 so far in Palm Beach County, I'd like to introduce you to the Director of Communications at the Area Agency on Aging of Palm Beach and Treasure Coast, Inc., my dear friend, Trish Ernst.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and a huge, huge virtual hug. It's been way too long since I've seen you, Gary. We are the Area Agency on Aging. We are here to serve seniors. We are designated by the federal government and the Department of Elder Affairs to be the official gateway to services for seniors. So just a brief introduction of who we are, and you're going to meet a couple of my coworkers on the panel today. So first of all, I want to say that my dear friend Gary is the person who probably gave me the biggest promotion of my life. Gary has known me through my caregiving years, not all that long ago actually, but I was a caregiver for both my mom and my dad. My husband and I relocated, they relocated to come to be close to us. And we were caregivers for about 5 to 7 years. And through that time, I have to say that being a part of the Fearless Caregiver conferences was really critical. I always shared with Gary, I felt that every time I came away with some incredible gems, and they really were treasures that I carried with me. So I carried them during my promotion, and my promotion that Gary gave me was that I was CEO of the caregiving team for both my parents. And he's right, it can be intimidating. You have doctors, you have a lot of input coming from a lot of directions, and it comes at a time when you're fragile, so you're maybe not as strong as you would typically be. So to have the supports and to have the gems and to have that promotion of being CEO does give you a different perspective. And I think I was able to handle things better, even in very emotional times. So I personally am enormously grateful to be a part of this event and to have been in the past. They really are great days. Testimonials and feedback are incredibly good. So on behalf of the Area Agency on Aging, I welcome everyone, even though I can't see you. But I welcome you. I hope you have a great day today here at the conference, and probably from the comfort of, yes, your living room and maybe with a cat on your lap. So it does have, or a puppy in Gary's case, it does have some advantages, even though we can't connect quite as closely. So Gary, thank you as always for having me, for allowing me to share just a little bit. And you're a great and wonderful partner, and the conferences are just phenomenal. So thank you very much.
So let's get to it. Matt, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Who are you? What are you doing? How come you have my favorite word in behind you? Groovy, man. And well, thank you for that, because I say groovy and my nieces roll their eyes. So thank you.
Understood. My name's Matt Monroe, and I'm one of the founders of Groovy Tech. Think of a personal trainer for fitness, but apply that to personal technology, and you have a pretty good handle on our service. Obviously, you know, many things have become much more essential from a technology adoption perspective over the past, 12 to 18 months, and we've been really privileged to be able to help a lot of folks, caregivers, and everybody help kind of navigate this new kind of forced transition into the digital space, I'd say. So I believe that we're sitting in the middle. We're living in the midst of the digital revolution, which I think will have, significant impact on everything that happens in our day-to-day lives. Think much like the Industrial Revolution changed things. And we really want to work with seniors and folks to make sure that they don't feel left behind and that they're able to navigate this new world. And oftentimes just having a patient and respectful resource working side by side with them can really kind of shorten that bridge and really lead to some special time.
I created this checklist that started off as a Lotus 1, 2, 3 spreadsheet and is now a published book of 120 pages. And you say, well, what's in there? And it says it's the system. It's the system that says, if you want to avoid conflicts for emergencies that happen, you've got to have a checklist. So I created this checklist. Okay, and I'll give you an example of how it works. I got invited into a family business back in December. And they weren't interested in any family succession on the business side because everybody was okay, until a doctor told one of the brothers, who was an owner, says, by the way, you're on a short leash of time here, man, because you've got some health issues that are so serious. We're going to tell you can't survive 5 years unless you do something. In the meantime, they're sitting there going, what do we do? So they're worried about the business, not so much the family. And because all the elements are in the business. So I took out the checklist and started giving it to all the kids, all the nieces and nephews. It says, this is what we're going to be running through in the next 6 months, is preparing your family and the company for the loss.
Our helpline is the gateway to publicly funded services for seniors, such as help with in-home services, adult daycare, home delivered meals, respite care services, transportation, medical supplies. Some in-home services can include companionship, chore, homemaker, personal care, the emergency alert button, in-home respite, and much more. We also provide a private pay option. So we are also the gateway to the statewide Medicaid long-term care program, which provides community-based services and financial assistance to pay for an assisted living. Our team, our INR specialists, information and referral specialists, are here to take phone calls during business hours. We have staff that speak English, Spanish, and Creole.
My name is David Carson. I'm up here in Stewart, and I help inventors bring their products to market. I help them patent and produce their products. I've been doing this for about 25 years. And I have something very special that I've jumped on board with that is for the caregivers, for you. When the inventor came to me with this idea, she is a caregiver, and she was caring for her husband, and she sustained a serious shoulder injury because of pushing and pulling her husband around. So we're specifically targeting the caregivers here with this device. I think that's who needs it the most.
Here we go. Does it have a seatbelt?
Yes.
You're learning here, you will never find a more motivated, more effective focus group than a room full of family caregivers.
I get that. That's why I keep coming back, and I'm gonna be part of your family here.
So my name is Victoria, and I am the program manager for Palm Beach County with the Alzheimer's Association, as well as helpline specialist for the state of Florida. So here at the Alzheimer's Association, we are providing care and support by providing support groups. We are doing them all virtually currently, so either virtually or telephonically, as well as educational programs geared for individuals looking to learn a little bit more about Alzheimer's disease, maybe some early warning signs of Alzheimer's or dementia, as well as for caregivers. We have some effective communication strategies and behavioral educational programs.
Mental health and mental illness may be cousins, but there is a difference. And in fact, there's also a third category. Some people might be diagnosed with a mental illness, and it could be short-term, long-term. Some people are experiencing good mental health, and so they are flourishing. And in between, in the middle, is languishing. And if you're languishing, it's okay. It's okay to answer the question when somebody says, how are you doing, with I'm languishing, rather than the quick and maybe inaccurate response, I'm okay. Because basically it's okay not to be okay. But if you're not okay, it's also okay to ask for help. A lot of people are languishing at this time in our lives, impacted by the 13 months since lockdown, and actually 18 months we've been dealing with this virus since its identification in December 2019. But there are ways that you can maintain and protect your good mental health. And Mental Health America is the Southeast Florida affiliate of the national organization, established 64 years ago locally. Its programs and services assist people in maintaining good mental health. MHA does not provide direct treatment or therapy. MHA information referral service is available for that, but many of the MHA programs are therapeutic for persons with or without a mental illness diagnosis. So perhaps during the Q&A, I'll be able to share with you some of the specific programs and services that can help you as a caregiver.
Guys, I'm Jason Neufeld. I'm an elder law, Medicaid planning, and estate planning attorney with Elder Needs Law. We have offices in South Miami, Aventura, Plantation, and West Palm Beach. And what we do is essentially a few different things. So I think almost everyone knows estate planning, right? Your wills, your trusts, your durable powers of attorney, and things like that. The Medicaid planning side is what's less well known and less well understood, where we are able to take people who need assistance paying for home health care, assisted living facility care, or skilled nursing facility level of care. And we can take these folks who have too much by way of income or who have too much by way of assets, and we can legally and ethically protect those things and still get them qualified for Medicaid. They do not have to wait 5 years. They do not have to sell their house. Everyone says, well, what about the 5-year look back period? And maybe we'll get into this more a little bit later on, but the 5-year look back period doesn't mean you can't do anything for 5 years. It just means you can't gift things away. So we're working with people, again, who want care now or within the next few months than they don't have. If they had to wait 5 years to do anything, my job wouldn't exist. All my clients need care now. They don't need care within 5 weeks. So, when we are protecting their assets, essentially what we're doing is we're giving them now, instead of going broke first before they naturally qualify for Medicaid, now they can have something that enhances the quality of their life, because it's always good to have access to more resources than to give everything away. And then when they pass away, we make it a little bit more likely that they'll have something to pass on to their heirs.
My name is Amanda Kulix, and I work with the Area Agency on Aging. You've heard from Diana Bruno from our helpline. But I am here to talk about a different program called SHINE. It stands for Serving Health Insurance Needs of Elders. And our focus is providing free and unbiased Medicare counseling. We do that through a dedicated network of volunteers. We help individuals understand their benefits, make choices and changes if they need that, and advocate to Medicare on their behalf in situations like appeals and grievances. We help them do that the right way the first time, so they don't just keep on bouncing back and forth between programs. So we also help people find benefits they might be qualified for that they might not know about that are Medicare related. And we do that also through the Benefits Enrollment Center at the Area Agency on Aging. It's a second grant, but we're kind of partners that helps with any benefit, any of the 5 core benefits beneficiaries are eligible for, we could potentially help them apply for.